All right. Welcome everybody to the AO scan and mold questions. Whatever you have questions on, we're here to answer your questions. And I just want to say that we are not medical professionals. We're here helping each other on, we're all on the same level and we're just helping each other out, getting through this thing we call life. And the AO scan is not a diagnostic device. It's something for education only. And with that, we're going to get started. There's a couple of things I wanted to go over tonight. I got a couple of emails this week. It seems like things come in groups. So the questions were around the quick scan. So I'm going to start with the quick scan because it's not one I think when we've done these Wednesday nights, I don't think we've ever done the quick scan. So just before I share my screen, I want to make sure that I'm up and not somebody that I was scanning. All right. Now I'll share my screen. So here's the main menu. So the quick scan's the top one. One of the, I use the quick scan every day in the middle of the day. When I don't want to do a scan, a full, like morning and night, I do the easy scan. I back out of the easy scan, I look at the inner voice. We've gone over that a bunch of times, but in the middle of the day, I come here and I do a midday scan. If you do a morning scan, it does want the voice with it. So even if I'm doing the quick scan in the morning, which I rarely do, I usually pick midday because I just want a quick scan. I don't want a voice scan. So you'll see the difference here. You can pick your supplements here. I'm just going to go back to here. If we go in the morning one, actually it doesn't say it here. Let's see where it does say it. Yeah, it says record. The other ones just say scan. And this one, it's for 10 seconds for inner voice and AO scan. The other ones, and it may be a little cheat, but I just would rather, so we're going to pick our supplements. I usually do in the middle of the day, I do general therapies and food. And then next, and see how this one just says scan. So we don't have to talk with this one. It's just a 10-second scan. You'll hear a few things. And if you don't hear them, that's okay too. It's just scanning. It says best with the bone conducting headphones, but it can be done with no headphones. And it's going to give you your top 6 supplements. So I do this in the middle of the day to give me a, what do I need for the middle of the day? And this isn't usually a middle of the day supplement. I think it's hilarious that it's coming up because I use that for sleep. And I definitely need some help with that. This DMSA and taurine, it's not one that I've made with pure supplements. I put them together in a pill and have a DMSA and taurine pill. And then the Super Citramax is like a fiber type thing. And then the other ones are the ones that we can imprint. So I usually have this on my device and just place a glass of water on it. Or sometimes when I'm doing the easy scan because the easy scan gives us our supplements too, some of them will be imprintable. Sometimes I'm in bed doing my easy scan, and lately I've done it a couple of times. And I don't want to get up and get a glass of water, so I'll just have my bone conducting headphones on and I press this imprint and it's imprinting it into me. So I don't even do the water with that. And I know Dawn said she doesn't even use the headphones and she just presses imprint and does a broadcast into the air. So however you do that is fine. You're going to be getting something from it. There's always that good, better, and best, and it is best to, who knows, maybe it's the same to put it in the headphones or the thing, but however you can do it, it's better to do it than not to do it. So it does come up with a little audio that you can play. I rarely do that. I usually just back right out of here. But the thing that I use a lot in the quick scan is in between scans, clearing and shielding. So I take, sometimes I'll find myself scanning someone and I'm taking on some of their symptoms. Like I feel what they tell me they feel. When I do that, I know I need to clear and shield. And those are just short audios that we can play either with headphones or out into the air. I do think it's better than with headphones, but however you can do it, again, just clear and then shield. And these 3-minute boosts down the bottom used to be the only way that we could get these. They're the ones that when we get the new inner voice, these are some of the music that's behind the frequencies in the inner voice. But we used to not be able to get these except here. But now I think if I were to do any of these, I would rather do 3 minutes with my frequencies behind them. So you'll see when we go into the inner voice, we've got neuroaerobics, supercharger, calming, meditation. It may not be the exact same as those, but this is where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. If you've got 3 minutes to spare and you can only do one thing, I'd come in here and listen to the ones that have your frequencies. But if if you just want to do a neuroaerobics, you can do that here too. And we used to do that all the time. I didn't see a relax on there. So I think that some of these transferred over, but maybe not all of them. But you can try them out. You might find that one of them's your favorite and you try it one time and it just sets your day on fire and go from there. But this is also where you're going to be able to do quick scans on the pet and get their supplement suggestions. So I have a supplement category here just for the dog. What else am I missing? The custom scan, it's just another way to do the general scan. So again, whatever supplement categories you have here, you just choose them and then it does your scan. So if you don't choose any, you're not going to get any supplements. You'll just get that little audio clip. So that's pretty much it for the quick scan. Any questions about that? I should have asked before I started recording. Margot, were you able to start the transcript? I tried to fix that in Zoom. Hopefully that got fixed. Should have told everybody too. Margot was nice enough to send me an email to remind me. I know it came up during a scan that I didn't have it enabled that could do transcripts, but now I enabled that.
Yeah, I started it.
Okay, good. Thank you. And thank you for that email reminder. That was awesome. Because you can't, when you're in here, there's no way to do it unless you've already done it in the Zoom settings. And I just kept forgetting.
Yeah, I save a lot of, most of them from the Healing ALS one, and it's so helpful because I can go back and refresh on it. So
yeah, and then you can probably, do you use the search function a lot in those?
do I do what?
Use search?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would be control effing everything. You know, when I'm looking for something, just open the whole folder and
Yeah.
find what we're looking for. Do you have a lot of the Cowden ones?
Yes, as many as I've been on.
Yeah,
But he talks so fast, it's hard. But it's kind of funny. On one of them, somebody said that I was on, I kind of chuckled when I read through the transcript because it doesn't always, it's not always what you say. And somebody said, well, my pals and cows. And when I looked at it later, it said pals and cows. So, you know, you got to kind of remember what it really was. It's kind of funny. Yeah. But it's helpful, very helpful.
Good. All right. Well, thanks again. How are you and Dave doing? Pretty
good. I finally signed up for the upgrade today.
Good.
And we've been so busy, I thought I better do it because I'll forget. The only thing is, you said on the email, you said if you're already a QLA, show people the AO scan this month, they get, and if they become a QLA for free, they get a coupon for 50 to the Solex store, and so that's 99 free stuff. But I asked her about that and she said no.
Oh, well, I think maybe, let me explain what I meant there. So you upgraded, you're getting that upgrade for free. That's $49.
Right.
You're also getting a $50 coupon. So that's like $99 for,
She said I wouldn't.
you're not getting the $50 coupon?
That's what she said.
Really? They've been giving it to everybody that upgraded. Huh,
I asked her and she said no. But if
huh.
it's automatic, then maybe it comes in an email. I don't know. But she said no.
Well, all right. Well, I know people that upgraded earlier this month and they got the coupon. So I mean, I was surprised too, but when that happened, I was like, I'm just telling everybody because it isn't that awesome. You upgrade for $49. So you get that $49 fee waived. Then you have a whole year to tell people about the AO scan. And if you don't tell anybody by next year, then you could downgrade, if you want to
Yeah.
call it that, back down to a preferred customer. But
So
yeah, I thought that you did. So
yeah, so then if I go to order, does that make it, go to the store? Because we want to get the glasses and some Seppies dots. Do I just create a store that, and then I order from,
you're gonna still do that under your office too. But you will have, yeah, I don't want to pull up my office while I'm sharing. So let me stop the share. Let me see if they, because I did notice some people upgraded and I didn't see their username in the back office. So I want to see if yours is. So I'll have to send out an apology letter and say, if you do get that $50 coupon, let me know. 'Cause earlier this month, people were. I really thought they were doing that. Yeah, so Margot INO. Let me put this in the chat. You don't mind if I put your link to your marketing site in the chat, do you?
I don't care.
All right.
I haven't been on it. I've been too busy, so I didn't even know where it was. Maybe then I can follow your link.
So yeah, so this, yeah, that's the link to your marketing site. So when you can sign into the back office, right? You've done that before,
Yeah.
right? Okay, yeah. So when you do that, you'll see that the marketing site is there and some other things. I'll give you some information about. And then there's a videos on how to set up the marketing site, and if you feel like getting into that. But if not, anybody you want to refer to get a scan, just say, I don't know how, if you don't know how to do them remotely yet, say Heather will do it. And then we can get on I'd love to get on a 3-way Zoom with you and whoever you refer to me, but I'll scan whoever you want.
Yeah, my niece was just down from Idaho and I was telling her about it. And she's heard of some doctors doing it and I wanted to do a scan here, but it was crazy. So my son-in-law was here tearing down walls in the bedroom for the new bathroom and then they rolled in and it was crazy.
Yeah.
So I got a chance to do it.
Yeah. You can do them remotely, so you don't have to have her, all you have to have is her voice. So anytime you guys can jump on a call or anything like that, or a Zoom call, if you want me to help you with it. There's a few people that I'm helping that way, and I do it for everybody.
So don't you have to have a picture of them and know their supplement?
Not their supplements. What I do with people that I scan is I put in my supplements for them. I don't put in their supplements. So I just put in I put in the Solex supplement library and I put in my supplement library, and then that gives them an idea of what they need. They may not have my supplements, but they may have something similar, but it also gives them an idea of, when you get your own scanner, you can put your own supplements in, and you do have everything.
Oh, okay.
I was over somebody's house today who, and I was scanning her and she was taking, she came up for needing B12. She says, I take that every day. And she also came up for needing B1 and B6. And she says, I take a B complex every day. I said, can I see them? And the B complex and the B12 were both the cyanocobalamin. And I told her, I said, that's like taking cyanide. And then when we did the scan on her, it came up that she needed the methylcobalamin that I have. And she happened to be 3 doors down from me. So I said, come on down and I'll give you what it says that you should take, but should really get some better supplements. The weird thing
I
is,
wanted to say, Margot, make sure you're doing construction, your son's doing construction. Please make sure that your husband is away from the construction and not breathing any construction dust.
oh yeah,
Really important, because people don't realize how toxic construction dust is. It's one of the working in construction trades is one of the common things. A lot of people with ALS have been in construction trades, so it's a risk factor. So it's just really important that he completely stays away from the construction.
Yeah, we can, the way our house is set up, we can tape off that part of the house.
Oh, good.
And they
It's
go
just
in,
so important.
yeah, they
Thank you.
go in the washroom door and go in that way.
Okay, good. I'm getting some sun because I've been at my desk all day and the sun's going to go down in like an hour. And I'm like, if I don't get sun now, forget it. So I'm getting it now.
awesome. Enjoy. What's the
yeah.
temperature? Like 60?
It's about 60, like 61 right now.
Yeah, it looks
which
nice.
is fine.
Yeah,
It's great. I need a coat, but I'm totally happy that
nice.
the sun is out. I mean, of course, there's snow all over the ground. I mean, you should see look at this. Look at all the snow. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all snow. You know, like.
God bless you.
All right.
Yeah, my husband said, honey, show them our snow. We don't have any.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's great. They're going to close the ski hill May 1st, but some of the other ski hills around are staying open until July 1st or August 1st. So,
Wow.
yeah,
All
we
right.
have a record snowfall this year.
That's awesome for you. Lisa said, I run all the chakras every day, even when they're all green after optimization. Recently, I've had a couple of days where all my chakras were double greens. That is an accomplishment. I love days like those. So do you think it's okay if I run all my chakras when they're already double greens, or is it just a waste of time on those days? If you are feeling better by running all of your chakras, I don't think, from what Lauren says about the frequencies, is if your body doesn't want them, it's not going to take what it doesn't need. So I don't think you can overrun frequencies like that. Although Dawn did say she got some reactions from running, but if you're feeling better from it, sorry about my dog. Must think somebody's at the door. But yeah, if you're feeling better from it, then I would say go ahead and do it. I run my chakras when, probably not often enough, but like you said, when I see some that started out in the red and then went to the green, I try and run them on those days. And I've been running them a lot more lately because I think it's a huge part. We're plugging everything back in. So what the chakras are I'm going to use Dr. Tennant's language, our battery packs. So we start at the root of our spine and we go to our crown. There's 7 of them, and we need to make sure that they're all connected. If you have batteries and they aren't touching, then they aren't going to connect you. So we need to make sure that we're all aligned. And yeah, I think that's a great thing that you're doing that. I think that probably has a lot to do with why you're doing so good. Marilyn said I signed up at a, see, you guys are going to have to let me know. And I apologize if they're not doing that $50 coupon for the upgrades. And hopefully we sign somebody up underneath you and that's your $50 coupon. But I wasn't trying to mislead anyone. I had someone that I was very surprised. I had someone upgrade and they told me they got a $50 coupon and I was like, awesome. I'm telling everybody about that. Maybe it was just a mistake on that one person, but I hope you all get them. And it should be in an email. So Connie said, is the quick scan the only place to find it clear and shield? No. Let me share my screen. It's an awesome question. And hang on, let me get back to my app. A lot easier to find when it looks like this. So when we're in the CEPIs, and a lot of times I do add these. Of course, it's not that one. I don't think it's frequency. I think it's affirmations. Here I am, wrong again. It's in one of these. So there's reach. We already did reach and affirmations. I know I have put it in a million. I like to put it at the beginning and the end of a playlist. I must just be missing it. It's not in there. Maybe it's down. Wouldn't be in there. Oh, sorry about my dog. There it is. Energetic clearing and energetic shield. I thought it was in the first one. You were about to tell me, weren't you, Dawn? Yeah. So I like to put this like when I'm doing a custom playlist. So we'll go in the custom playlist. And the order that you put them in will be the order that they play. So when we do a custom playlist, we just go in here to reach and we would grab that energetic clearing and then put whatever else we want in there. And then at the end, say energetic shield. And then when we play that playlist, it'll clear us and shield us. And David asked, we cannot open up the 47 step for this week. When you click on step 14, you don't have a code, which we don't have. Healing ALS, right, Tish? Did we do healing ALS? We just talked about this today, that there was an email that went out with the code in it to everyone who has signed up. But when we get into trickier and trickier things to share, we have to password protect them so we don't get shut down. So I think we're going to go backwards and password protect the supplement.
Yeah, we're going to do the first 10 steps and leave them public. And the others we're going to password protect. So just so you know, but it is healing ALS. You did get it in an email. We also want to make sure that everyone has registered. So, you know, that you register, you sign the agreement and for confidentiality and all that stuff. So it's all good. That way we won't get sued for practicing medicine without a license. And, you know, we just want to help you guys in any way that we can with all the information that we can. And we're really hoping that will, I think these 47 steps will make a huge difference. I'm so excited.
Me too.
I'm really excited. And I talked to a brand new ALS reversal today. It's just, he's just unbelievable. Yep. I'll talk about it tomorrow. I'll give you details tomorrow in the 47 steps. I'm very excited. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. We spent like an hour and a half on the phone today. So, and he's going to speak on Sunday. So you'll all know on Sunday.
Oh, it's
tomorrow
great.
the people will get a little preview.
Nice.
Yeah. So All right. Anyway, thank you, Heather. This is really helpful. Like even like I had I knew about the chakra balancing, but I haven't been doing it. So even that comment, making those comments and just as a reminder, wow, I should be balancing my chakras every day too. And I do this easy scan every day, but I don't always run the chakra balancing. So I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to add that to my to-do list every day. Like just when I
One
need
little-
more stuff to
Add
do.
one little thing, but all it takes is the push of a button. Then you don't have to do anything else.
Exactly. So I love it.
Yeah.
And did you figure out whether the polarity we know whether we have polarity or not, correct?
I gotta find, I've been searching for other ways to align the chakras and other ways. I want to find a video on checking polarity and checking all the chakras. I think
Yeah.
we're gonna get that after the 5th and the 6th we have to make sure that's one of the videos so that we can
Right.
share
And
that.
we need it. And yeah, so actually if you write those all down and give them to Scott, like if you text them, you know what I mean? Let's write them all down.
Yeah.
Let's keep track of them because
Yeah.
he's going to video anything that they don't cover. Scott is going to get Dr. Cowden to visit or Dr. Weber to video right afterwards. So just to let you know, Heather and I are going to Texas on Friday and this coming Friday and Saturday, not this week, but next week. And we're going to learn this stuff from the masters so that we can bring
Muscle
it back to you
testing.
guys.
It's a
Muscle testing from
yeah,
the
it's a muscle-
masters.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very
And-
excited about it. But not only that, but Scott, who has a background in journalism and that was his job, is going to film the whole thing so that we can share the videos with you on how to do.
Well,
the
I don't
muscle
think we're
test.
going to be able to, I don't know if Dr. Cowden's going to let us share the videos with everybody.
At
They're-
least the chakra
But
aligning
we're gonna-
and
yeah, what we're gonna do
testing,
is
those are the important things. We
we're gonna
can't
make
probably
little
do the-
pieces.
Yeah.
We're going to make little pieces of the videos.
Yeah.
And the little pieces of the videos are going to be, that's the most important thing. The little pieces of the videos that are important for you guys. So that's what we're going to share. And we're going
Yeah.
to put them up on YouTube. So
Good.
that's the
Yeah, because
pieces
I have
that I'm
been
excited
searching
about.
for something good to share with people on how to do that testing and aligning. And I'm like, I'm just not finding it. So I can't wait until
The
we have
biggest
other-
thing that Dr. Tennant says is is making sure the chakras are spinning in the right direction. The polarity or the backward spinning chakras. I haven't figured out that those two different things are the same thing, but we'll find out from Dr. Weber because he uses the aeroscan in his practice all the time.
Yep.
So that's what I like that's what I'm excited about the training is that this AO scan, Dr. Weber uses muscle testing and the AO scan together in his practice. And so that's, I think that's kind of what I'm most excited about.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Me too.
That way so Heather and I are going to be commiserating every night on
What can
what
we-
we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty exciting. And Diana, I'll share one more thing. Diana shared with me. She's like doing this. She's got a patient. And of course, she can't tell me the name of the patient, but I got to tell you this. This is like Diana Nolan is amazing. If anybody she is incredible. So she says she's working with another doctor on a patient. And she said, what did she say to me on this patient? You're not allowed, she just, where was it this morning? She said, I just figured this out. Look, wait a minute, I got to find it. It's so good. But she said, basically, I can't find the text because she sent me like 10 texts. But this one said, oh, we know what's going on. This pathway is blocked. This fatty acid pathway is blocked because the guy took a flu shot. The flu shot had formaldehyde in it. The formaldehyde is blocking the pathway. And all we have to do is get rid of the formaldehyde. It's going to free up this pathway. So I just think it's really exciting. And I love the whole AO scan thing, but I like the idea that it's all kind of get complemented by the science. So the people that can get the test and find out, wow, this pathway is blocked. We know how to fix that.
Yeah.
And the ALS symptoms started after the flu shot. But she didn't know, but then that just came together because she gets this test back saying the formaldehyde is blocking the pathway.
Yeah.
It's like, how cool is that? So,
So how do you remove formaldehyde from that pathway?
I didn't ask her that. That's like another step, but
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
happy that
That would be
they
my
know how to
next
do it. I mean,
question.
these guys, well, look,
Yeah.
that's what we're doing in the 47 steps. I mean,
Yeah.
that's part of the
Just
47
a
steps. And
detox, like a sauna
so
detox.
yeah, so guess what? That's going to be like in step one of those steps, 30 something, 20 something. I don't know, whenever we're getting to the detox part.
Yeah.
And whatever
All
we
right.
missed this year, we're going to get next year. So I just think I'm just very excited
Yeah.
about
That's
all
super
of this.
cool.
But formaldehyde is one of those things that we're going to be detoxing. But now that we know about the pathway, we'll cover that in the 47 steps.
Yeah. Yeah. And formaldehyde's
So
huge. It's in a lot of things that we live with every day. Like people wouldn't think of this, but I know interior designers who's had to quit the business because of the formaldehyde in new building materials. So even people are like, oh, my house is new, I have no problems, but new cabinets, new furniture, new walls, new carpet, all has formaldehyde. So super important to be keeping an eye on that.
yep. And that's very interesting because that's what Eric Edney said back in 2010. He said people should not move into new houses.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Because
need
they're
to they need to
off-gas.
off gas for like 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
Seriously.
how much. I mean, if you ran a hydroxyl generator, maybe you know, leave the house every
Yeah,
time.
high
I don't
tech
know what
gets rid of formaldehyde.
it does.
100%. Yeah. There were these, and I'll keep this kind of brief, but there were these FEMA trailers that were given out after Katrina, and people were getting sick in them left and right because of formaldehyde. And the government had to take the FEMA campers back because people couldn't live in them because they were getting so sick. So you would think the government, being the government, would destroy them. No, they gave them to the native Indians in Oklahoma, and the native Indians started getting sick. But they didn't tell those native Indians that people had already gotten sick from formaldehyde in these. So High Tech is actually in Oklahoma, and he found out that the native Indians were getting sick from the formaldehyde, and he put High Tech in there, and he had before and after testing done on the mold and the formaldehyde. It gets rid of formaldehyde in about 6 days.
Wow,
Yeah, so it's very good on formaldehyde.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he let
And
them.
we have a guy living near a refinery, and takes care of the oil refinery stuff as well.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that's
not sure if it's 100% of it though, because we are still having an issue. It gets rid of anything with a carbon molecule, but what chemicals are also connected to oil? So maybe some of the oil isn't carbon molecules. Maybe there's other
maybe
things.
when you talk to the High Tech guy, you can maybe when you talk to the High Tech guy, you can find out how much of the oil refinery it might get out of.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got other ways though. I did a lot of research on that in the
If there's
past
a
few
way to
weeks.
test it, actually this pals can test it, because I know he's going to get a High Tech, and then we can measure if tell him that we will measure for him, but I don't know what test to do.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
We'll look at that. All right.
Thanks.
All right. I want to share my screen because one of the questions is how do you run the chakras? So I'm gonna move things so I can get to my thing. So we're in the CEPI. I'm gonna just back out though by using the AOScan logo and go back into the CEPI. And the way I do it is if you haven't made a custom playlist, you're not gonna see anything here. You're gonna press the plus, and then you're gonna see this, and you're gonna write chakras in here. And then you're gonna go down to where it says quantum chakras. And then I choose them all from the root to the crown. And the reason for that is because that's the way the energy should flow. When there is a short way of recharging the chakras, they say zip yourself up. Start at your knees and act like you have a zipper. And that should get the energy in that. And the more you do that, the more you'll charge your chakras. That's one thing that I've seen repetitively. So people use that, but that's what this is doing. It's sending the energy from the root to the crown. Now, I'm not going to save this because I have a chakras. So now after you do that, you have to press save, which I should have showed you where the save button was. But when you make a playlist, there's a save button right here and you just save it. But if once you've already made it once, you just have to go in here and go to the chakras one, and I usually do the 2-minute broadcast. So it'll play each one of these for 2 minutes in order. So it'll start with the root and go to the crown and play. So it's going to take 14 minutes to play them. Now you can do continuous broadcast if you think that, 2 minutes isn't enough, but I would start with at least the 2 minutes. If you think you might be too sensitive to 2 minutes, start with a 20-second imprint. And you can also, I don't recommend this with the chakras because you can run the any of these frequencies simultaneously. But when it comes to the chakras, there's a certain order to it. So we want to keep it in the root to the crown order if we can. And you could also come in here and you could run them separately. So if you only want to run each for 30 seconds, you could come into the chakras, or for 20 seconds or whatever. You could start with a root, and you could do an imprint, which is going to be 20 seconds, or you could do 2 minutes here. So you could do them that way too. But I just like to be able to run them all in a row, push one button and be done. And I also have, you probably noticed me, or maybe you noticed, I don't know. Let's go back a little bit. I have some that, so I have a custom playlist that has the chakras in it, but it also has some vaccine support, some perfect health, adrenal thyroid support, trace mineral support. This one has a vaccination detox, and then a couple of other things. Bromium is a cell salt, and then Heart Plus. So it's just a little bit extra. I did the chakras in the same order, and then added a few things on it because of things I saw in a scan. And I'll come in here and I'll just edit this one. This is kind of my one that if I'm doing chakras for someone and they also need some support, I'll throw that support in here, and this, it doesn't always stay the same. Marilyn said, are you? Oh, go ahead, Don.
Oh, I am loving the new copy function on the planet. I have similar support, and I copy it and change one or two things, and I love that.
So I haven't even used it yet. So I did hear that they did that. So that's this, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm in the chakras and then I press copy, so then it copies it and it says shot. So then I can rename it. So I could rename this anything and then just add more stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I had heard you could do that. I really hadn't used it much, but I'm glad you're loving it. Yeah, I do have favorite playlists that I come in here and what I do instead of saving that, I'm not gonna, but like this 6-phase, the reason I named it 6-phase is because it comes up. It's my favorite one to play. And I don't have to press any buttons. So I can just come here and I could play this anytime I want. So if you put a number in front of anything, it's going to come up first. So if I decided 6 wasn't the one that is going for me, I could put a 1 here and I could get that one to come up first. But I like this playlist for myself. I think it really helps my day. So, and anytime when I've got something going on or somebody's got something going on that I'm looking for a playlist, I like to look in the AO Scan official Facebook group. I'll do a search for if anybody shared a playlist on that. So whether it's muscle weakness or I've searched for mucus there, I've gotten some good ideas. It's a good, it's a good idea. It's kind of repetitive, but it's a good idea to get those, what's working for other people, and then use that and put a playlist together that could possibly be something that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise. That's another way I use it. Can it be recent? Because I don't see my, oh. Karen, I don't. Oh. Karen said, well, let's see, can it be recent? Because I don't see mine. Let's see. It has to be, can't either. My password doesn't work. So I think that's the password for the 47 steps. And then Karen said, oh, that's a direct message. Oh, I don't know. We can talk about that later if you don't want to share that. I don't know if you meant to send that as a direct message, Karen. I see, I don't want to share it if you didn't want to share it, so. Margo said, just dreaming, wouldn't it be great to have a frequency that helped to unfold the misfolded mitochondria? Ah, yes, but I don't know if there's already something there already. So on this, when you do a comprehensive scan, okay, so when you do an easy scan, it picks what to scan in the comprehensive. So we do an easy scan. I do the easy scan twice a day, unless there's something I want to scan for separately. So you can do the inner voice, the vitals, and then go into the comprehensive. And then it doesn't matter which one of those, I quickly click combine. But this will tell me what it wants to scan for, because I did the inner voice and the vitals.
They're a picture of, don't we?
But I can go in here and choose whatever I want. So let's go down to organs and see if it shows, see, it didn't choose mitochondria. So I can go down here and choose it. And when we scan for something, we're always optimizing. So the other one, was it Amy that figured this out? She was watching one of the training videos that Becky Coots-Kimbley does, and she had all the chromosomes written out what each chromosome does. And the number 2 chromosome is related to ALS in her research, and she's very researched. She's very, I think she's brilliant. But so we could also come in here and just choose number 2 chromosome every time. So if you want to do the comprehensive scan separately, that's the advantage of doing it separately. So all you do when you do that is you press scan and optimize. So the easy scan makes it easy, but it doesn't make it customizable. It is customizable if you do the scan separately. So that would be a reason to do that. So yeah, that, you know, maybe if we could figure out what part of the mitochondria is the misfolded part, because this scan was, I did this just before I got on, so I wouldn't be able to do another one just on the mitochondria. But when there is one with the mitochondria, you can look at all the pieces of the mitochondria, and maybe we can figure that out. Maybe we can ask Dr. Cowden what part of the mitochondria gets misfolded. Is it's misfolding proteins, right? But yeah, we need to wake up that mitochondria and get them all working together. I love that dream, Margot. It's a good dream. We can work on that. So Marilyn said, why does the bacteria, parasites, molds, etc. change each time you scan? Does it mean you have all of them? So it means we have an energy of them, and it can come from someone else. See, that energy, it can come from the past. It can be something present. It can be something past. It can be something that we just don't realize that we came across lately. A lot of times when I'm out with people around here, a lot of people have been vaccinated. I haven't been vaccinated, but I need a vaccination detox a lot. And it can be from ancestry, and it's also can be that we are an onion. So as we fix one thing, another layer shows up. So I would say and no, it never means that you have them. It means you have the energy of them in that moment. So we are energy, just like water in a stream. We are energy that's moving all the time. So we have to. That was one reason why I had to learn muscle testing when my son was so sensitive, because we were going to muscle testing once a week and then twice a week. And then she said, you have to do this at home. He's just changing so quickly that if you give him something and he reacts badly to it, then it's no good. So that's what I like about the AO scans. Kind of, it's muscle testing without having to because I always questioned myself with muscle testing. I really hope that this class gets me more confident with it, but I've taken about 7 classes on muscle testing and I'm still not very confident with it, probably because I don't use it every day. I don't get to practice it all the time. I am using it more now that I have my way that works on myself. But yeah, don't ever take anything it says as you have it. Take it as something to watch. And if something shows up red all the time or very often, then it's something to put some attention on, some natural treatment toward, maybe, or look for something that can treat that thing. So it's the ones that, when I say red, it's the ones that are, I call them a hard red or a red. They stay red on both sides. Karen said on the gas refinery question, I think MBTE and tungsten. Those are, tungsten's a metal, right? And the MBTE, I'm gonna write that down and look up what it is. I have a, something that
Heather,
absorbs
those,
chemicals. Go ahead.
Heather, those are both gas related. MBTE is an ethanol related fume, like if you live by a gas station, but it's also by gas refineries, and tungsten is too. That's why I figured out my tungsten issue and my MBTE issue is that my home, which is a modular home, was first demonstrated in North Dakota when they were doing oil refinery, and it somehow got into the house, and we did not know that, but that's how I put it together.
Wow.
So I know that MBTE and tungsten are related to the gas issue.
Thanks for sharing that, Karen. The MBTE, did that come up on your hair testing also?
My MBTE came up from a functional medicine doctor who tested me back about 5 years ago, and we never could be retested my water because they thought it was coming from the water. And we had the water tested 3 times and no one ever could figure it out. But through since then, and I've learned so much from you and from everybody else since then, that's how I figured the MBTE came in. And the tungsten is that it must have been in the carpet or in the house or anything. I mean, modular homes are stick-built house, but it was brought in 2 pieces and put together, and we moved in without ever knowing that these issues could occur. And I never knew I was that sensitive. So that's how I put it together. But mainly because you guys have taught me this stuff and how to look for it.
That's great. Thanks, Karen. It's always good to know that what we're doing is helping. So thank you. Oh, a moment to give thanks. And David said, great news. I got my tablet today and it does connect to the internet without using Wi-Fi. Yes, if anybody wants to connect with the AO scan without using Wi-Fi, the tablet is the way to go. That's awesome, David. If you have any troubles, let me know. And should be easy peasy from here on out. So good. Karen said, does everyone get Cephi with their programs? Because I've never tried it. I didn't think I had it. Oh yeah, everybody gets it. So it's the bottom one. So once you click on it, you have all of these categories, and it does keep them shorter. There's thousands of things in here though. So most of them you can scan. So you know, if you can't decide which one of these would be best for you, you can just push the scan button and it will give you its idea of what the best thing for you would be. With the homeopathics, you can search by symptom. That's the easiest way to use those. And yeah, everybody gets the Cepheid. It's one of the, I think it's one of the most missed. Like people don't know how powerful it is, so they aren't in here yet. But you can, yeah, you can get a lot of healing from these. And you'll see most of the time when, I shouldn't say most of the time, a lot of the time when someone needs help, and I do a scan for them, I'll come in here and I'll also do Cepheids with them. So I'll go through their scans, I'll see what they need from their scans, and then I'll make a Cepheid for them. But a lot of these are things that I've put together from scanning. We got a little rescue dog. These are for calming him down. I haven't played those in a while. Maybe I should. When we first got him, he was so high wired all the time. I was using those pretty often. But yeah, EBV detox with support. So I don't know, this is probably a good example of how to do a lot of support with a little bit of detox. That EBV detox is the only one there. And then I put a lot of other things in here. And I can remember who I did this one for too. But a lot of times that's what that is with me anyway. But yeah, if you have any trouble with that, Karen, let's set up a Zoom and we'll help you set up some custom playlists. There's some great ones for pain, frequencies to relieve pain. So Marilyn said, when you imprint your water or object, which place do you imprint from? So either the easy scan, so in those reports right underneath here, this is as far as I go on the easy scan. I imprint right from here. And then, you know, once in a while, I'll just go like this and see how this is doing. Obviously not all that great, right? And I've been running a lot of chakras lately, but I've got this, I gotta tell you, I've got this infection in my jaw. I've had it for years, probably 20 years. I've been able to keep it at bay with oil pulling. And no, there's something going on that this whole part of my face was, so now I'm trying poultices on my face to pull the infection out. But I think it's affecting me horribly. So I've got a lot going on, but sometimes I'll just come here and look how things are there, obviously. And then the first thing I do is I back out of here and I go right into the inner voice. And you can't see your reports until you press on this reports. You can listen to your music from here, but I like to press on reports and then I get my music, my frequencies playing. I'll usually pick 10 minutes and then press this button. And sometimes I usually change my music, like whether it's morning I do these three, night I do these three, and then in the middle of the day I do something in the middle. But I'll pick my music and then I'll pick 10 minutes, I'll push play, and I go down here and I start looking for what can I do to make myself better? What is it saying that, and this is where I gravitate to, these imbalances and suggestions. It's gonna be 4 of them because there's 4 reports, because there's 4 notes. It's giving you your 3 highest notes and your 1 lowest note. So if you can only pick one thing, the last report is your lowest note. So this is, if you're saying what's the most important, go to the last report and pick something from here. So if you're only going to pick one thing, that's the way to go. But I usually look and see what repeats, and then try and do something about that. So if there's a repeating theme, you see trace minerals. I think I saw it a couple of times. Yeah, I saw trace minerals there. And then I also saw trace minerals right here. Reduce toxicities, which means stop doing house calls, because basically every house I go to is full of mold. Let's see. Oh, so that was in answer to Marilyn's question. So from the easy scan and from the quick scan, those are the 2 places that I imprint from. You can also imprint directly from the Cepheid. So if you're in the Cepheid and you go to any one of these, any one of them can be imprinted. So straight from here. If you want to do one, or if you want to imprint from the custom scans, you can do that also. Lots of places. Yeah. All right. Lisa said, FYI, I found a playlist for the urinary system in the Facebook group recently. I'm hoping that it will help my urinary incontinence issue as I'm looking to increase my consumption of water big time. In the AO scanning training videos, they keep highlighting how important hydration is. I also changed from scanning first thing in the morning before I drank any water because it is important to be hydrated before scanning. Oh, okay. So you were scanning before you even had water. Yeah, a couple of 12 ounce glasses of hot or warm water, like not, it doesn't have to be hot like tea, but hot, like in between the high end of warm and hot. The best way to start off your day.
Пока сильнее чуть-чуть.
И не сильнее, их
Даже
надо по крайнему
выставить.
углу.
Do you guys have a question or?
Это ухо вообще.
All right. Can you tell me what imprinting does? So I usually imprint my 32 ounce glass. I put all my water in here for half a day. 30, I try and do 2 of these a day. So in the morning, I'll get it started, and then I'll do my scan, and Lisa, you're absolutely right. I'm trying to think of that. I get my water and then I do my scan. So I'm not drinking my water before I do it. It's a good point. Really good point. So anyway, so when I'm done with my scan, I put my 32 ounce glass jar on my scanner and I imprint anything that came up into my water for the day. I used to just do it like, here's my glass that I drink from. I used to just do a glass, and I like doing the bigger one because it's gonna last, the frequencies are gonna last up to a day in structured water. Now, if I want to imprint jewelry, I can just take off, the only jewelry I wear now is my rings, but and I do have bracelets from Solex too, but for metal jewelry. So you can take your jewelry and just put it down on the screen and imprint that. And they say jewelry will last 1 to 2 weeks with the frequencies in them. So if you want to put a frequency of healing or whatever you want to put in your jewelry, you can do that too. The ones from Solex, the bracelets, there's some with beads, there's some that are more like jelly. I'm looking for one right now. And I don't have any right here. I wind up taking them off at night and leaving them on my nightstand. But those ones, the frequencies last 2 weeks. So the good thing about imprinting, the way I feel about it, is I can put the frequencies that I need into the water, and then I can drink my remedies. So, or I can wear my remedies, however it is, they just last longer. Let me get a link to the Facebook group. Somebody asked, Marilyn asked what the Facebook group is. So it's called Solex AO Scan Official. I'm going to put a link in the yeah, go ahead, Lisa. I'm not going to sign off because you said you have a question, so I'll wait. And Dawn said, I think, Dawn, you're imprinting into the air, right? So you use, when you get a supplement suggestion, do you just imprint that into the air? Are you still doing it that way? I don't know if Dawn's still on. Maybe she had to hop off. Yeah, I don't see her on, so we'll get that answer out to you guys. Oh no, Dawn's still here. See if she sees my ask to unmute. Karen, you don't have to apologize. Everybody's learning and we're all at different stages of learning. The wonderful thing about having a group like this where we can all learn together is that we can all help each other too. So you can ask as many questions as you want. Ooh, that's a deep one. What do you think about, so this is, this came up with Dr. Cowden too, I think. So the question is, what do you think about making a homeopathic remedy out of one's urine? It was something that came up years ago, 12 years ago. Yeah, that was where, so I can send you a link to a video that happened. I don't know how it survived YouTube's cuts, but Dr. Klinghardt talks about HPU and KPU, which is basically a severe zinc deficiency, and we're toxic in metals, and that causes a lot of other things. So, but at the end of it, he tells this story, and he does it, so I love the way he tells stories, but I'll try and tell it as well as I can, of the Germans and the Russians when they marched towards each other for war. I believe it was the Russians that the soldiers, the general said, you have to drink your own urine every day, every soldier, and if you refuse to do that, I'm going to shoot you in the head. And that was the way the Russian army was. They marched on, and you're going to drink your urine. Oh, you don't want to do that? Bang, you're dead, because you're going to kill the rest of us. And drinking the urine is what kept them alive, because the German army, 9/10 of them died because they died of this virus that will kill you. And by drinking your own urine, you protect yourself from viruses and bacteria that could kill you. So that's and it was Bartonella. Bartonella, was, I believe, the virus in question here that killed most of the German army. So by the time they met each other, the Germans had already lost because they had lost most of their people. I think they might have even wound up turning around. And I might even have the countries wrong. So please don't take it. I'm just telling the story as I heard it. The ones that didn't drink their urine wound up dying. The ones that did were able to survive. Now, he does not suggest drinking straight urine. He suggests exactly what Dr. Cowden said. You take a drop, you put it in 9 times that amount of water, and you succuss it. And when he does this, that's what succussing is. And then you take that and you dilute that, and you do that to a 6 times or a 9 times. So it is a very, very faint bit of it. And that's what a homeopathic remedy is. So I can tell you that when we were very sick and trying to figure things out, it was one of the things we tried. And we bought the little glass vials in order to do it. And I watched his directions on how to do it. And I don't know that I felt any different from it, but that was when we were living in mold and we didn't know that the mold was what was keeping us down. And there was just about nothing that I wouldn't try because we were going downhill fast in a big way. So I think it can be tried. There's science behind it. I'm not going to say it's something that it's something that I have tried. Whether you want to or not, it's up to you.
I mean, I don't mind doing the diluted 10 times because you're doing it 9 times dilute, 9 parts urine and 9 parts 1 part urine, 9 parts water. Then you do that. Then you do it again and 9 to 1, 9 to 1. And he said, do it 4 to 6 times, 9 to 1. So it's very, very diluted. I listened to a couple of videos on it. One of them was a Japanese doctor who said it saved his life. He was dying and he drank his urine, but he drank it straight.
Yeah,
But
and I've seen that too. I think that's absolutely kind of out of this world.
Disgusting. I know it's totally disgusting, but
yeah,
there's a
I
whole
did the
group of people
diluted
that do it. There's like a ton of people online that do it. Just to let you know, there was a guy at 103 in Pasadena, and he said, "I know this is disgusting. People ask me why am I healthy at 103?" He says, "Because I drink my own urine every day." So, who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows? But again, it's worth trying. You know that like God provides us with remedies for everything, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's been well known for hundreds of years because,
Yeah.
Yeah. So Marilyn said, when imprinting the supplements after they show up from the scan, do you use the headphones or the bone conducting? So like I said, I have a couple of times lately just had the headphones on and said, I don't want to get up and get any water, and just listen to them through the bone conducting headphones. And I love it. I don't know if Joe's on, but he calls them bone phones. I think that's so funny. So yeah, I listen. So when I do that, it's through the bone phones. And most of the time I take the headphones out of the scanner and I scan it into the water. So if I'm going to scan it into the water, I do remove the headphones. So that, and you do have to have the volume up when you're imprinting. So when you're using Cepheid frequencies and you're not imprinting, you don't have to have the volume up. But if you're imprinting, volume up. Yeah, Karen said the plane that crashed into the Andes years ago, survivor drank his own urine. Yeah, and I remember that one too. Yep, there's lots of examples of it. It works. What level of it are you willing to go to? That's up to the individual. And I think that the diluted kind is safe.
Well, the diluted kind seems like a no-brainer to me. I didn't even think about that. I'm like, I don't want to drink my own, but I think I could do the diluted kind, no problem. There was a building survivor who survived 4 days, and because he was willing to drink his own urine, his wife and his daughter weren't willing to do it, and he survived and they didn't. So, you know, they would, you know, one of these earthquake collapses and they pulled him out, and he said he the only way he survived was drinking his own urine.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to put a link to this page before we go. If any, and I don't know if Lisa's still on, but this is the page with the, I should have just named it HPU, KPU, but it was, I wrote it so many years ago. This is if someone's not getting well with Lyme disease, but it still, I got to make sure that the video is still up because these videos disappear. But it is still up, and it's at the very end of this video that Dr. Klinghardt, and I'm almost, even though I haven't watched this video in 10 years, I'm almost 100% positive that this is the video that at the very end of it, he tells that story about the urine therapy. And I think I had to find another video in order to get how to do it. But Dr. Cowden explained it the other day, the exact way I remember doing it. So yeah, that's the one, HPU, KPU. It's a wonderful video. I think I watched it, you know, it's one of those videos that you can't just watch it once because there's so much information in it. So I took notes on it, and that's what that page has, a lot of that too. All right. So I don't see, I hear you, Karen. Karen said, I do just about anything to be well. And, oh, so what does it mean to clear or shield? So we're going to clear our energy, and then we're going to shield our energy. So just clearing out what we may have gathered from other people, because some of us are more of an empath than others. So we can feel the symptoms of other people. And then shield ourselves from that happening again. So, and they don't take very long. All right. So we're going to end the meeting with that. And we'll see you guys all next week. If anybody has any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. We'll do a one-on-one Zoom, answer any questions that you might have. And that's always an option. So just reach out and we'll set that up. All right. Good night, everybody.